All right, so discussions about tackling Japa in Nigeria with technology. We see that's ongoing at this time, but the pressing issue of brain drain in Nigeria is essential to understand its scale and implications across sectors. So this phenomenon has significant consequences for, country's economy, innovation, and overall growth potential. Additionally, we'll discuss the role of technology in facilitating remote work. Join us for this conversation. We have Yen Choi. He's a co-founder Netcom Africa. Joining me right here in the studio. It's great to have you, Yen.
Hi, good morning.
Morning. Yeah. So yeah, we keep talking about people looking for better opportunities. When there's a cost of living crisis, and we see the macros are not looking so good. So like birds migrate. We see people try to migrate to greener pastures. But talk to me about brain drain in Nigeria. In your opinion, what's it looking like? How bad is it really?
Well, it's pretty bad, especially with the youth. So in our organization, a lot of our management have been with the company for 10, 15 years. But the youth, 1, 2 years, before you know it, they want to do their masters in the UK. So it's quite severe. So we're in the telecom industry. It's happening in healthcare. It's happening in tech industry, in many different industries it's happening in.
Right, and definitely that some would say it's a good thing. You have your people going out there, and maybe it could turn into diaspora remittances that could be converted. So that's some kind of opportunity with that. But talk to me about how, because we still need talent within the country. Talk to me about how technology can help retain talent in the country.
Well, the first thing that comes to most people's mind is remote work. Right, so you're working for an organization that's abroad. You're making better money, usually in most cases. You need technology. You need a very good laptop. You need a very, very good internet connection, maybe even 2, right? You need a comfortable workplace, and you're there to go. But what most people don't talk about is, what are you actually doing? Are you exporting yourself? Are you exporting your knowledge? And because of that, it's not just the technology that's needed. Like, what is the skill that you're exporting? And right now, a lot of the remote working jobs is some type of business process outsourcing, whether it's a call center or providing customer support or some type of outsourced software development. And these remote workers are acting individually, not as an organization. So there is a massive opportunity where a company in Nigeria would get into this business process outsourcing to provide those services and create jobs. And
I've heard from some people trying to get some of these remote jobs, and some have talked about challenges when it comes to certificates or certification. Some say they don't have maybe the certificate from that country, so it's looking like it's difficult for them to actually get some of these remote jobs out there. So talk to me about that. Do you really need to get an international degree to actually get some of these remote jobs, or you can just work with your Nigerian degree?
Well, I'm not advocating anybody to leave the country and helping them leave to...
No, yes. Get that remote job here,
yes.
Work here,
exactly.
And attract the foreign currency.
So that's why that intermediate company is necessary. As an individual, you need to demonstrate all your certificates. But if you're working for an organization within Nigeria that has that relationship abroad, that approval process only happens within the country. And that's where the opportunity is to understand the local situations of employment.
Right, because I've heard a lot of talk about that, and some people, like recently, I heard a lot of complaints about internet service. Some people, working remote here, they say it's really difficult. When you have to have multiple internet service providers. And we've heard talks about, most of the telecom companies talking about raising tariffs, that they're not able to survive, with these prices, at this point. So how serious should we be taking this internet issue? Because it's also impacting, some of these people that are trying to get these remote jobs.
Yes. I think that mainly affects the consumer mobile networks. Mobile data in Nigeria, 30 gigabytes of data is about $3 US. In America, it's more than 15 times that amount. Okay, so data is cheap here, but that's consumer data. And actually, there's a lot of pressure to mobile operators to raise their prices because they're buying all the same equipment in US dollars. So how can they be profitable? So I'm assuming they're going to be struggling a lot. But at the same time, a lot of companies in Nigeria are using very, very reliable, solid internet services, business-grade internet services, which are not shared. They're highly available. They have redundant connections, and they're capable of doing all that remote work, video conferencing, screen sharing, multi-team collaboration, and it does work. So that is available in the country today.
All right, talk to me about examples of countries that have been able to use technology to actually retain talent in their country.
Well, let's look at India, for example. India, the call center business process outsourcing industry is a major contributor to the GDP. And how did they do it? This is the industry that didn't exist 25 years ago, and now it's become this massive industry. First, they brought in diaspora, who have experience in that industry, to set up those businesses, to get those jobs and those contracts as an organization. One of the first BPO deals in India was the outsourcing of American Express call center. Massive, hundreds, thousands of people. And that just grew and grew and grew. So now what's happening is you're getting a large amount of Indian diaspora that want to go back to India and grow and participate in that industry where it's dynamic and they can grow and there's more opportunity instead of being stuck in a job that pays well but is boring.
So, definitely we've been hearing about, talks when it comes to the US and China when it comes to technology. There's that battle, going on, right now. And, what we're trying to say is there's going to be that superpower, for technology. These countries are trying to, claim their own. But looking at countries like Nigeria, Africa, what should countries like Nigeria be doing, right now to be able to, play in this technology market, at some point? Because we keep importing most of our technology. Mm-hmm. It's time for us to produce this technology. What should we be doing right now?
The mere fact that people are leaving the country, where are they going? They're going to get involved with the high technology sectors, healthcare, across the world, which means the talent is here already. Okay? Now, why are they leaving? Because life is tough. 10 years ago, with 100,000 naira salary, you can buy 10 tanks of fuel. Today, you buy one if you're lucky. Salaries have not increased. So people are pushed out of desperation to leave. But if that lifestyle can be sustained, then they will stay. So I think that's one of the main drivers of that.
So, looking forward, do you see, Africa and countries like Nigeria, able to step up, when it comes to, exporting technology at some point, or at least just, producing most of it, in country?
Yes, so they're leaving, they have the skills, AI, microchips, software development, business process outsourcing. Any of these industries they're not exporting people, but they're exporting knowledge. That's the key. You don't need to build factories. You don't need to buy buildings. You just need to cultivate people. Upskill, train, export the skill, not the people.
Export the skill and
not the people.
Well said. Thank you so much, Yen Choi, co-founder Netcom Africa. It was great having your perspective today.
Thank you very much. All right. Bye.
All right, as I said before, it's the last trading day of October. Definitely, I'm sure investors are bracing for what's to come. That's in November. Will it be a November to remember? We'll definitely find out. But that's it from me on Business Morning today. I'm Ladi Williams. I hand things over now to the Sunrise Daily team.